Welcome back to Andertons TV. I'm Lee.
I'm Nathan.
You're watching All About the Bass, which, if you haven't worked it out yet, is our weekly show where we talk about all things bass on Andertons TV. And if you liked the drumming and thought to yourself, do you know what, that's a fine and dandy piece of drum there. I wish they did more drum stuff. We've just launched a drum TV channel.
Have you really?
I'm not in it.
Who is it?
To know.
Who's doing it?
A chap called Toby, who's a professional drummer, plays all over lots and lots of depths and sessions and tours and things like that.
Oh, great.
And our drum department manager, Rob, and they do kind of the same thing we do. Like, you know, Toby's the player.
Well, they talk nonsense.
They talk really
rubbish. They don't know what they're talking about. It's all inaccurate.
Yes, they make it all up as they go along.
Yeah.
And instead of getting crappy drum machines out and jamming on, they get crappy bass guitars and do So, what we got today?
Okay, well, we've got this range of amp tweaker bass pedals.
Amp tweaker.
Amp tweaker.
What do we know about? Shall I tell you what I know about amp tweaker?
Yeah, please.
Because I know a little bit about amp tweaker.
Yeah, more than me.
James Brown.
Ow!
Exactly. Well done. James Brown, the amp designer, not the godfather of soul.
Right.
Very famous for designing gain circuits. Designed the original 5150 for Eddie Van Halen and things like that. Okay. So. He knows
tone.
He knows tone. He knows gain tone for sure.
How is tone?
Tone. He's all right. Tone. So he has a really popular line of pedals called the Amp Tweaker range. They're a mix of guitar and bass pedals. Right. They come in. Up until very recently, they'd only come in a larger format pedal, which were quite expensive and had all kinds of loads of tweaking and effects loops built to them. Yes, we did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. I think one of the very first videos we ever did.
Cool.
And earlier this year, he came up with a junior concept. So this takes the sort of essential features from the big pedals, all the sort of tonal stuff, if you like, from the big pedals, bins off all the non-tonal switchy stuff, smaller format. Same sort of quality, a lot less money.
Oh, okay.
And these are the three latest ones he's brought out for the bass.
Cool.
Called the Tight Drive Junior, the Tight Rock Junior, and the Tight Metal Junior. Right. So if any of you guys out there, bass players, have been hankering for one of the bigger, you know, the Tight Metal Pro, Tight Rock Pro, or Tight Drive Pro, and been thinking, oh, I wish I could get one of those, but I haven't got the dough to do it, the Junior range.
It's here. It's arrived. It's for you.
So we're just going to run through. What have we got? What have we got here? This is a first.
Yeah.
Not
How about
for you,
this?
obviously.
No. Well, I thought I'd bring my own bass in today. It's like at school, you know, when you're allowed to wear your own clothes.
Mufti Day.
Yeah.
Is that what they called it when you were at school?
It is.
It is Mufti Day. Well, they call it something else in America, though. And I think over here it's even been changed, because I'm not sure that Mufti Day is a politically correct thing to say anymore.
Probably not.
But when we were at school, that's what you called it, Mufti Day, and you used to come in. It was usually like the
we
last
did all
Friday
sorts of things
term, wasn't it?
That aren't allowed anymore. Yeah, that's right. You wear your own clothes and bring in some games. You bring in like Scrabble and Monopoly and stuff.
Yeah.
And now you.
Or nowadays, they wear a hoodie and sell cannabis at the school gates. That's probably what they do now, isn't it?
No.
Probably even cannabis is too soft. Probably harder drugs than that, isn't it?
Oh, I couldn't possibly comment.
Smack.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
Welcome
to year 7. Want to buy some smack?
So anyway, moving on. This is a status bass, and this is mine. So I thought I'll bring it in. It's like an old friend.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I mean, I'm more familiar with that bass with no headstock on it.
Yeah, well, he still makes those too. Yeah, the ones that tune down here.
Yeah,
they're cool as well. But you know,
where's this been with you then? Whereabouts around? What's the coolest place this has ever been with you?
Oh, that's a good question. Japan, I suppose.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've used this out in Japan, all over the place, all over the world.
Cool.
But it's it's nice, very nice bass.
But anyway, I'm not even sure any shops sell Status. You have to buy them direct, don't you?
You do, that's right. That's how Rob does it. It's still a very small company.
In Essex still?
Yeah, Colchester.
Round that anyway, there you go. So look, you can't buy these from Andertons, but there you go. You can, if you think that looks cool, check it out. Status bases on the
Phone up Rob, speak to Dawn and say, I want one of your bases.
We've got a very popular and sort of mid-priced Ashdown combo here called the Rootmaster 500, the RM 500. We've picked the one with the single 15 and the tweeter in it, and we've switched off all of the kind of clever stuff that you get with this. So we're not using the compression or the drive or the sub bass or anything in here. We've got the EQ flat and the shape button pressed in. So with no pedals, it sounds like this, please, Mr. Nathan. And we picked the Ashdown because it kind of is, I think, a bit more of a rocky kind of sounding amplifier than maybe some of the other brands that we do. Especially, we sort of decided not to use like a Mark bass or something for this. So I guess Ashdown Orange would have been another good one to choose, but whatever. These are great. So back to the pedals. So we're going to start. We're going to go from the lowest drive to the highest drive. Although it's probably not so much about the amount of drive, more about stylistically what sort of suits you best.
Yeah, the word tone, I think, is what we're looking at, don't you? Because they get progressively, they get more aggressive, I guess, from sort of this way round.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what sort of sound you're after, obviously.
So the switches are actually pretty similar across all three. So we have a volume, tone and gain on each one. So drive being more just like an old pushed valve amp kind of sound, rock being a higher gain, more like pedal, typical sort of pedal type distortion, and then going into metal, which is more of a, I guess, a scoopty, fuzzy kind of metally kind of sound. He says, choosing words that mean nothing. We'll fiddle with the knobs, and then underneath those you've got two switches. One that adjusts the gain, the sort of the tightness of the sound, so you can go from medium to a bit tighter to fatter, which you'll hear. It's really just
it's more like a focus thing, I guess. There,
it's pretty much what it says on the tin. Noise gate in the middle, which is very cool, and we'll demonstrate how you can use that not only to act as just to get rid of background noise, but also to actually almost change the way your bass will respond depending on how you're playing. And then over the other side we've got three different kinds of EQ, so sort of medium or whatever this sort of diamonds thing, or off, I don't know, doesn't really do anything, over to smooth versus plexi on these two, and smooth versus thrash on this one. And then the feature that he is most excited about on his pedals is a little harder to see actually. It's just on the side here, and it's called dry low, and it is the blend input of the dry low signal, I suppose. So the most talked about complaint on bass distortion pedals is that you lose the clean power,
the clarity
of the boom at the bottom. It all goes a bit fuzzy. So a lot of bass pedal manufacturers get round that by allowing a certain amount of the bass end to go through like a true bypass, so they don't get distorted. So that's what that is. If you look on his website as well, there's some cool pictures, or maybe our website, of it's super pro. Like even the underneath of you probably can't see this, but like the underneath of the pedal has loads of screw holes in it, so that you can mount it to any kind of pedal board.
That's clever.
Anyway,
that's good. Like the old plasma TV mounts, they always have millions of holes in.
Just like that. Run on 9 or 18 volt power supplies. With the 18, if you use 18 volt, we're using 9 volt, but if you were to use 18 volt, it increases the headroom, makes it a bit less distorted, which always kind of that is basically what seems to happen on distortion pedals. More voltage seems to mean less distortion, so more headroom. less background noise as well with higher volume. But we're just using a T-Rex multi-pedal power supply thing, all 9 volt. Let's do this. Let you play. I'll tweak, and then we can discuss afterwards.
Play and tweak. All right. What do you want to hear then?
I would like to hear something sort of bluesy and old schooly, and kind of like, you know, maybe a bit more laid back, because I think this is kind of more that kind of bit of grunt rather than necessarily anything too heavy.
All right.
So let's start off without the pedal. So you probably heard the two most dramatic effects there were gain, obviously, but then this dry low thing.
What was going on with that then?
Well, dry low, when I backed it all the way off, which would suggest that it's, you know, just, well, let's just play a little bit now.
Yeah.
Just. So in a way, that's almost, I guess, what like a conventional distortion pedal would do, which didn't allow any of the bass in. So it sucked really all the bass in.
Oh, so that's all the way off, is it?
Yeah, and then if I just put it in halfway up,
yeah,
which is a sort of, I think, like a default position. Try again.
I'll bottom end back.
Yep. And then all the way up, it started to clip the amplifier,
yeah,
which
so
is why you probably turn me around. But it's a bit crazy, so here we go. So
about halfway up's all right.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that any amplifiers, you know, most amplifiers I think are going to struggle to have that kind of dry low boost all the way in.
Yeah.
All the way turned up.
Good habit, though.
Noise gate, obviously, on the Drive Junior, sorry, the Type Drive Junior, doesn't generate a lot of background noise, I don't think. Let's have a look. See how, if we've got the gain up sort of max, how much background noise? Oh no, it's quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
So you can hear that's your sort of, you know, and again you'll get that out of pretty much any distortion pedal. So the idea is with the noise gate, which I've turned all the way off now, is to just dial it in. Well, I suppose
if you dial it in gradually, and then you can hear the. So you want it so that it's just gone.
Yeah, so it doesn't need, on this particular pedal, it doesn't really need to be any more than about a third of the way up.
Okay, and let's see how that affects the tone, eh?
Yep. So do you want me to just take it while you're playing to see if it affects the actual tone of the bass?
Yeah, let's do that, yeah. It doesn't, does it?
Not really, no, not on that one.
All right.
So that's the Type Drive. You'll notice a couple of other things. Again, the sort of little metal bar over here, which obviously stops people, stops you rather from sort of accidentally kicking the knobs and stuff like that, and breaking them off or whatever. Should we go to this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the glorious red housing, the Type Rock Junior, we'll just do the same sort of thing again, really. Probably play a little bit around more with the noise gate on this one, because before we started rolling, Nathan and I were kind of showing how does it actually alter almost your, not, it doesn't alter your technique, but if you're doing sort of more stab style playing, there's a much more distinct kind of like note cut off, note cut off, note cut off.
Yeah, the higher you turn the noise gate knob up, the harsher it gets, the more extreme it gets. So as soon as you stop playing, it will cut in.
Yeah. So let's just do the same sort of thing again. I'll start with the gain relatively low and then just start fiddling around. So let's get our reference tone again, please. Way more gain, obviously, but I'm kind of, it's an interesting one. I always think the sort of the mark of a good pedal, or perhaps it's complete rubbish, perhaps it's not the mark of a good pedal, but I often find when I'm
in your humble opinion,
in my humble opinion, when you find the most pleasing sounds are when kind of everything is halfway, almost as if the designer's gone, look, that's kind of how I think it should sound, and then anything is to sort of tweak it away from that position. I always sort of, I quite like that, you know. I don't sort of.
Is that how you are in life? Are you sort of quite?
Well, you know what I like I'm just trying to think. Well, I like to sort of drive at the speed limit, no faster, no slower. No.
How do you like your steak done?
Yeah, medium.
Medium. Yeah.
So it's an interesting one, and I'm kind of so far on these pedals, I'm drawn to the sort of the sounds that you're getting with everything at sort of 12 o'clock, which I'm guessing is probably. That would be where you would think the designer.
That makes a lot of sense, of course. Yeah, because
like.
Because in the middle is you're right, and then you can go extreme all the way from there.
If we try and demonstrate this noise gate again, so exactly the same. We can show you again if this is the background noise, or you might have to turn your bass up.
Yeah,
and then we dial in till it goes away. It's about the same position again, about sort of third of the way up, even with quite a lot of gain. I think a bit. The more gain you add, the more you've got to turn the noise gate up, obviously, to remove it.
Yeah.
But if you now play that sort of stabby stuff that we're doing, so what I'll do is I'll turn the noise gate all the way off.
Yeah.
And if you play
some stuff,
if you play the more stabby stuff,
a bit more staccato.
What I notice is that it's the in between notes. You still get some ring and stuff like that, which you might not want for certain styles of music. So here we go.
Gate in.
Try it again, yeah.
It cleans it up.
So you see what I'm saying about it? So it's a.
Interesting.
I haven't done anything with this low thing, so that was still on halfway, so here it is all the way off again. everything's about to fall off the wall in here, isn't it? I really like that. The Tight Rock Junior seems to like a little bit more of it seems to handle a little bit more of the dry low better than the green one. Right.
So
heavy metal.
It's heavy metal time.
What do you know? What sort of what heavy metal covers do you do? Do you do any sort of Metallica or?
Keep going.
I don't know any other heavy metal bands.
Oh, Metallica.
Sabbath. Do they even count as a metal band? They probably would have done with it. Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Is that right?
That is Enter Sandman, isn't it?
All right, let's try that.
I think. I'm not familiar enough. In fact, in the comments section below, please put some classic either bass players or songs where the bass line uses that kind of level of gain. Because I always think when we come to do a metal thing, none of us are entirely sure.
Oh, what's that? Our old favourite.
Go on then.
What's his name?
Now, we always default back to that Muse track, and I completely agree. It's like the only one that we really know that sound is.
I'm sure there's loads. I'm sure there's absolutely
stick in the comment section below, and we'll take note and we'll try and learn some. One of the things I did want to do on that Muse lick, though, was demonstrate the difference between having the noise gate all the way up and the noise gate off, because that's another kind of track where I think it's really important that it's clean. It's such a busy bass line that if the sort of in between, if there's a mess in between each note, it just becomes overly messy.
There is the way I play.
So play that again, and at the moment I've got the noise gate all the way up. So here.
When you up or off or on?
All the way on.
Oh, all right. Thing is though, see with that bass line, it is kind of it's legato anyway. Yeah. It is all together. So
so there isn't really any gaps, are there? But
so I'll do something a bit more stoppy starty.
Right.
Turn that all the way up.
All right.
It seems to eliminate a lot of string squeaking. Actually,
it's eliminating string, but I can also hear as well with the noise gate all the way on.
Yeah,
you've got that. It's too much. Not too much, but it's got that artificially stops the note prematurely kind of sound to it.
And it does seem to roll a bit of top end off.
Yeah, it does. Particularly on these two.
Just try it again.
Yeah, go on.
This is nice. as much as I thought.
No, that one seems to roll more off, doesn't it? But anyway,
good though.
So
they're all good, and obviously all quite different.
Yeah, they're all going to be super reliable. You know, they're premium parts made in the States. As Nathan just said, quite different. I think in summary, again, I'm sort of leaning towards going, I like these types of pedals. I'm a big fan of these sort of kind of pedals on the guitar, where one, it's just like sort of going, you've got your basic spaghetti bolognese that you quite like, but you just want to add some salt and pepper just to give it, you know, or like a bit of extra tomato puree or something just to give it something, a little bit of chili powder, you know, and so it doesn't fundamentally change the flavour. Right. It just makes it a little bit better.
I'm enjoying this.
And that's that pedal. Yeah. These ones obviously are completely, you know, they're like, you did have spaghetti bolognese, but now you've got a curry, you know, or something. It's just a different meal altogether.
Probably a madras and then a fal.
A fal, yes, you know. Absolutely.
I like that. You see, I like hot curries.
You like a hot curry, do you? So is that what we're going for? Are we going like a chicken korma, lamb madras?
If you really want to take it that far,
I don't think the curry analogy is helpful at all. I tell you what would be helpful though. Yeah. Some more shitty drum playing on this tremendous Yamaha. I've been John Bonham.
And I've been Nathan. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've got some useful information about these pedals. Check them out. And there we go. We'll see you later. See you next time, eh?
On All About the Bass on Andertons TV. Subscribe here, please. Somewhere in that corner or that corner. I mean, work it out. Don't start. It would be in that corner. That corner.